That many workers across the country received this week. This man at Zimbabwe Cotton was told to report to work on Wednesday, where he was issued with an immediate dismissal and 3-month severance pay. He says people who were retrenched earlier this year received $4,000, but we'll be lucky to get $1,500. We're not political people by nature, but this forces us to interpret this as political. Government has to intervene. His company, Zimbabwe Cotton, fired 400 permanent staff in one day. More than a dozen other companies have issued similar letters. They're using last week's Supreme Court ruling to terminate employees' contracts without the previous cumbersome negotiations, as well as the severance pays that took into account the years of service. Business representatives say the judgment reflects the emerging economy.
You see almost 35% of companies in Zimbabwe, they are owing their staff salaries of at least 1 year going backwards. And you know for sure that those companies will at no point afford to pay those salaries. So what is the solution? It's for the labor to be flexible enough.
He says it removes one of the obstacles that has scared away potential investors from a slowing economy that desperately needs them.
Zimbabwe's labor costs had been so much higher than almost all the SADC countries. It was a hassle in Zimbabwe for any player, foreigners included, to set up a shop here, because to just dismiss an employee would cost you the entire balance sheet.
Zimbabwe's cabinet has resolved to urgently amend the labor laws to protect workers, but it faces its own dilemma. It's under pressure for the IMF and the World Bank to trim a bloated civil service, but hasn't been able to do so. The labor minister did not respond to the SABC questions on the matter. Meanwhile, trade unions say they will approach President Robert Mugabe to intervene. Shinga Nyoka, SABC News, Harare, Zimbabwe.